I don't want to tell you how to live, but the Fanatical Fenton's logo that you've got up in the top right corner is currently covering your entire face.
That's absolutely fine because we're not here to look at my face. We're here to look at that.
I did not agree to that, just so we're all clear.
Nah, I didn't sign up for that. Only come on because you were here, Carl.
Exactly.
Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, you're going to help me build it.
Seeing the light playfully bounce off your forehead is the only reason I get up in the morning.
Turn the volume down. That'll do. Right, so you can under the wire. Have kids, it's fun apparently.
They said it would be fun. They said.
Don't know why I stopped. Right. Right. Hold that. So obviously that is the filament spool holder at the top.
Evening, Matthew. Evening. How the devil are you?
Hello, Max. How looks?
That doesn't have to look like an Ender 3 Pro power pack.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
They look familiar.
It looks very similar.
I have to say though, it's quite nicely packed in some of these little protective bags. So we've got what in there? Power, some cable ties that I could.
Looks very similar to a Creality extruder as well. So frankly, the only way this is going to get 250 millimeters a second is if you launch it out your bedroom window.
There's some meaty.
How long is this?
Wow, that's stingy. It's not filament, is it?
No, they're cable ties.
Oh, it's cable ties. I was going to say, I was like, Jesus. If that's what they're giving you in filament.
They've given the industrial cable ties.
They've shrunk the spool of filament.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah. Hold that.
On the bright side, you could take pictures of your manhood next to that tiny spool and convince ladies that it's bigger.
I possibly could.
Well, I got those tiny 50p's made up.
Jesus. Okay, so right, you have to move that now. And then the rest of it apparently comes out in one. Jesus Christ!
It's so upsetting.
It's like giving birth.
Yeah, that's worrying.
And then it literally comes out like that.
There are some meaty cable ties on there, aren't they?
Aren't they?
What?
Is that to strap it to the desk?
I don't know. Maybe it does 250.
Yeah, maybe it does.
With the iPad up.
No,
Don't put any cable ties on. Rattle it up and see if it runs away.
Just no way.
That sounds like my weekends when I was single.
What? You didn't strap it down and she ran away?
Yeah.
Put a cable tie around it.
Boy, I can't wear shorts anymore.
Well, it's frowned upon. Yeah. Right.
Wow. You've got shiny bags and everything.
Oh.
I love the fact that they have put a scraper in an anti-static bag. That's my favourite thing so far. There's nothing worse than when I get a scraper out and it's got static all over it. Oh, it's terrible.
So we got Allen keys in another static
Allen
bag.
keys in a tinier bag.
We got spare parts in a static bag.
Right.
This is the least static machine ever.
What's that?
Bag number one.
So let's just save some time. Is there anything electronic in that anti-static bag? No, there's not. That's
not
right.
really.
There's not. That's all right. That's good. I just want to know.
Potentially my hand.
Cable tie.
We got some normal size cable ties at last.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Shit. Keep the static away from those cable ties.
So I can talk into it.
Just talk.
Like, I'm
Why
not
do you
being
sing
funny.
songs?
Anti-static bags are way more expensive than normal bags. Someone's made that choice.
You got your declogger for your nozzle.
If we took the bags out, the printers only cost £100.
Well, the funny thing is, this was only £125 when they released it. You know, when they announced it.
No. Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's Ender 3 V2 money.
Sort of, yeah. Ender
Can't
3
remember. Let me have a
Pro.
look. Let me have
The
a
old
little-
Ender 3 Pros were about that.
Yeah. Have a little butchers on Amazon. What can
Right,
you get
hold
an
that.
Ender for at the moment?
If you ditch
Oh,
the
you know
static
what?
bags,
I'm happy.
oh
I got
wow,
a UK plug.
that's
Oh,
unusual.
right.
That is
Yeah.
the third time ever.
And we got instructions.
And we got instructions.
Yeah.
If you actually
So,
switch out the
okay,
static
so an
bags,
Ender 3 Pro right now will cost you 181. And what's this
Yeah.
price at?
Hi, Rob. It was 125. I believe it's about
That's aggressive.
230 now.
It's 230 now. Oh, okay.
yeah.
So at
So
230, well, okay, right. So at
But-
230, it's
but
right
now-
in between an Ender 3 V2, which is 276,
Yeah.
and an Ender 3 Pro, which is 180. So it's right in between there.
But
Nice.
on the link in the description, and it's not an affiliated link, there is actually 15% off if you go and order it on their website at the moment as well.
There you go.
Not bad.
And they have them in stock in the UK and the EU and America.
Blimey.
Go on, cut these cable ties. Go on. Just watch my finger. Jesus.
We're all sat here watching, see if Cole loses a finger at this point.
As long as it's not the
All right,
front.
it's an anti-static bag. That'll keep it nice and fresh when he goes to the hospital.
Can't be any worse than the electrical tape I use when I chop my thumb off.
Oh. Yeah,
Go
but
on,
you
pull it.
would have had a bag to carry your thumb in.
Well, no, I electrical taped it back on. I thought it was the best bet.
That is the most northern thing I've ever. We're not wasting money on expensive ice. I'll just tape it. It'll be fine.
But to be honest, I didn't want to go to hospital with it, but
Oh,
apparently I needed
obviously,
to.
yeah. Didn't want to bother anyone.
Yeah.
3D print a new one.
Hold that. Watch my drink. Pain. No, hold
Lucky it
it.
was electrical tape. You couldn't find the super glue at the time.
To be honest, I did try
Right,
that first.
okay. An Ender 3 V2 on Technology Outlet right now is £187.90, including VAT, with shipping.
Okay.
So with the money off voucher, it's about the same price as an Ender 3 V2 with shipping.
It's quite aggressive, really, for a new launch.
It is aggressive. I mean, I will point out that I don't know whether or not these guys are pretending to have a touch screen like the Ender 3 V2 does.
No touch
Where
screen.
it's a really nice color screen, and then they just
No.
put a click wheel on it to mess with people. Like,
It's just a nice looking green screen like they used to have on the Ender 3s. Apparently.
Yeah,
it's,
the Ender
it's
3
not a.
No, it's not TFT.
You stop it. God's
It's
sake.
a scroll and click.
So the instructions are quite clear, to be honest.
Yeah,
Quite straightforward.
In colour.
The one thing I have to say is, though, that I have got a link to download their Cura settings for this, but I haven't done it yet.
I mean, is there any need? Like,
To be
surely they're just going to be Ender 3 settings, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that with it, to be honest. Do you want to lift that up?
Oh, so it's not okay, right? Sorry, I thought it was like a Focus where they where it folded, but it's not.
No. They've basically made it
They
as
just
flat
packed it
packed
really
as
well.
possible.
Right.
One of the things it has got, though, is where you adjust the bed height, there's actually 2 screws. And I'm guessing one of them's a lock screw. So you get the bed level
Right.
and then you adjust the other one on it.
Yeah, got you. That's clever.
Which
Yeah,
kind of
that's a good
makes sense, really. It's got an all
Are
metal.
they
extruder
are they
by the way.
nylon nuts underneath? Or are they just regular nuts? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's just moving the
They're
potato.
nuts.
Yeah, the nuts. There's 8
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
A lot of nuts.
Right, watch out a minute. Let me just swap this camera over and then I'll just use this camera here. So let's have a look. So it's got an all metal extruder.
Dual gear?
Got a filament
Yeah,
box
that's
on
nice.
here, and a nice button on the side that explains. Please press the button to insert filament.
Ooh. Press to insert.
It's got one of those magnetic
Flex
kind of-
beds.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
And
All right.
there's a screen there. It's only a little screen, but what do you want it to do? It'll do.
Let's say hello, really.
It's all you want, though, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Ask if I want a coffee would be nice.
My missus would tell me to piss off.
Yeah, I won't get that same privilege Sam got the other day.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sam was on live, and he was like, I could do with a coffee, and she was like, no.
Ding.
And then there was a message popped up and goes, it's outside your door.
It
Mine
looks
would
a
be like,
coffee.
yeah, do one.
Hi, fellas.
A nice frothy. What?
I said hi, fellas.
Right, do you want to talk and listen?
Yeah.
Remember, no swearing to them. They're too old to listen to you swear.
Right.
We wouldn't understand half of it.
We
Well, I
wouldn't.
might as well
No.
go this while he's chatting away.
Very sheltered life.
Yeah.
Did you see that Matt Farmer's?
One of the first things you have to do is you have to rotate the Z-axis to lift the nozzle up from the bed. So obviously not to damage it. Lay the print on the side and put bag number 3 in the bottom.
Pretty standard then.
Oh, there's bag number. And I am using my amazing toolkit from James.
I have to admit, I've got a new one now, and I'm a big fan of the new one.
What?
Ooh.
You're talking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it's not expensive. Like it was only like 15 quid, but it's like it's a ratchet. It's a full size ratchet screwdriver, and it's quite a bit more useful. Like
You can get your hand on it.
I can actually like my meat hands can finally grip it.
Your sausage fingers can wrap
Yeah.
around it properly.
I drop everything, and the magnets on it are quite good as well. So it actually
Nice.
holds the screws in place.
That's the thing, when they put magnets on and they're crap, it's like, why do you even bother putting them on there?
I think the problem I have is that I seem to think that the more I try a magnet, it will just get stronger. So I'll put a screw on which isn't magnetic, and it will fall off, and I'll go, oh well, I could probably just balance this and be able to still screw it in, and it'll be absolutely fine. This will work perfectly. And unsurprisingly, it doesn't.
No, unsurprisingly, it falls off.
Yeah.
That's the annoying bit, when it falls off for the second time. That's when you get annoyed. Oh,
Martin,
yeah.
I was going to ask you. I spoke to Carl yesterday. You guys are resin gurus.
That's James to show you.
Same as James as well.
I'm
Twins.
not good. Yeah, I seen that come out well, man.
I wasn't happy with
I'm waiting.
the railings.
I'm waiting.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys, when you printed this out, whether you've had the same problem with the rippling.
I've never printed it, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I haven't printed that specific thing.
No.
Yeah.
So how was that printed? Sorry.
Sorry.
Like, what was the orientation? Was it like 45
So
degrees?
it was just
Right.
Straight up.
yeah,
Sound
but,
plate.
no spot. I used this. I was sent
James.
the Conjure Rigid.
Into the microphone.
Yes.
Mine is
Yeah. The
muted.
Conjure resin. The Conjure
Quite a
resin is good.
difficult one to work
Speak
with.
into the
Well,
microphone.
the Conjure resin is Cheeto Box's resin.
Yeah.
So you can get pretty good settings for it.
Yeah.
I used the rigid, so the only thing that I found with the rigid is I found that afterwards the print was still really flexible.
Yeah, I've got that on this.
Yeah.
And that's good.
And I don't know whether or not it's that I haven't like post cured it enough, or whether it's just like I don't know whether I've done something wrong, or whether it's got something wrong with it. I don't know.
I think I'll probably have to cure it off the plate next time, because I think I rippled it by moving it off the plate.
Right. Yeah.
What machine was it on?
To be fair, I've only got one resin printer, and that's the old Photon OG.
Oh, the OG.
Oh, okay.
James.
Still
James,
quite
is there any chance to just show the tray a little bit to Carter? He's just asking about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What this?
Okay. Look. Quick look. Can you see it?
Wait, I can see it better on here.
Okay.
So this is the so I'm reprinting a bunch of my Voron parts. So basically, so I've done a bunch of them in carbon fiber because there was some carbon fiber that came with the bamboo. I was saying to Martin earlier that I haven't used a machine like this out of the box. This is the kind of printing experience I would expect to have if I bought a raise.
Yeah.
To be clear, starts at like $4,500.
Yeah.
I have never had. So bear in mind that this is a cheap, generic ABS that I'm printing at the moment, and this is the print quality.
It's going wrong.
It is absolutely. This is the top layer.
That looks flawless.
Yeah, that's
and,
nice.
and this is like, I mean, like it is, and this is printing at 200 millimeters a second.
Nice.
I have just never used a machine, and I have done nothing to this. This is the stock profile. This is a generic ABS profile in the bamboo slicer. I have done nothing.
It's nice to actually have a profile straight out of box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most of them, you've got something to play with, haven't you? It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what machine it is. There's something to play with.
Yeah, always. There's always something to tweak or something to play about with. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know some people have had. There are people who have had some issues with some of the stock profiles, and they've tweaked them a little bit. But I mean, you know, you'll tweak a Prusa out of the box. Like, you know, it's not. There's very few machines that you buy and they are nothing. And I have haven't played with retraction. I haven't played with speed even. It's just the speed that it's set at. I haven't had to touch temperatures, Z offset, nothing. I haven't touched any of it. There is no Z offset. There is no. It is truly auto bed leveling. It goes around and probes the bed. You do not adjust anything. It decides what the Z offset should be. So it doesn't matter if it changes every time or if it never changes. The machine does it all every single time.
That's good.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
So yeah, I'm absolutely. I am loving this. Like, I mean, so look at this, right? So this is, which again, then these are, so this printed flat. Obviously, these are the top layers. Like,
That's like layer quality.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that is really good.
Amazing.
And sorry, what machine was that?
So this is the Bamboo Labs Carbon X1.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, I've just literally.
It's making you fall in love with 3D printing all over again.
He takes it to bed at night. Don't listen to him.
Take it to...
So this is a prime example of how good this is, right? So this is obviously the fan shroud. Now this is going to be a little bit difficult. You can see that the supports are in the red. So I did 2 colors on this because you can do 4 colors on the AMF. So the supports on this are red. So in theory, I should take this off, and there should be
no red.
There should be some red on it. Now I might have spoken a bit too soon because it looks like it's going to be a real mare to try and get rid of that.
Did you figure out the settings then, James, with the supports? Because the one you did the other day was
so the support settings I was using before, well, they didn't work. So yeah. So I had a couple of issues with,
Matt, James's arrived. Was it Friday last week?
Yeah,
It wasn't long ago, was it?
Yeah, and they didn't get much notice, did you, either, that it was coming?
I was told literally the day before it was arriving that it was. Like I didn't get any notification that it was in the country, that that it was on its way or any of that stuff. Like literally, I just got a notification from DPD. I might be reprinting this part. I don't think I was meant to print this for support.
So the power box goes on in the same. I don't need that one now. The power box goes an ender free. Exactly the same frame.
Right. So that was a bad example because I have to reprint that. That's literally the fan shroud bit, and the only way into it is this part or these holes. and then I've got to get all the way through there. What backer number? So I think I was 3,798, maybe something like that. Something like that.
The deliveries have been very hit and miss, though, haven't they? Really, not as.
So I mean, look, there's a reality
that.
So I think they did ship them out in the order that the backers bought them, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they just they shipped what made logistical sense. So like they shipped all of America first, or they shipped all of Australia first, or whatever. So rather than it just being purely based off of backer number, I feel like they did a bit of like, this is what's most cost effective to actually deliver these around the world. Because I think, to be honest, I feel like it was way more popular than they necessarily expected it to be. Like I don't think they thought it was going to be as big a thing as it was.
It did create a massive wave, though, didn't it, in the community?
It did, and I mean, so they did everything. They did everything in the right way. So they engaged with a bunch of the community. They sent out beta units. They sent out alpha units. There were 700 units that were in the hands of people before they even launched the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So they did that. Like that was a stroke of genius, because it meant that all those things that are on your average person's wish list, they'd already done. They were already on top of. So so there was really like they managed to get a lot of that, like that initial, I don't like this, or I don't like that. All of that was already out of the way.
On the centre of that, where the bed runs through, the bed runner.
Yeah.
Was it 40/40?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very similar build then to the Ender 3. The Pro.
In reality, most printers are, aren't they? Like entry level printers are, like they're just an Ender 3 with more shiny bits.
Ooh.
What are you doing, you?
I mean, it's nice they've included a couple of upgrades. Like they've included the all metal extruder and its dual drive and all of that stuff, and it looks like it's got a half decent fan blower and that kind of stuff.
It's got a light and an LED on the hot end as well, which is quite nice.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Well, that make it go faster straight out the gate.
Of course, it does.
I didn't realise it had an LED on it. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have mocked the 250 millimeters a second if there was a light on it.
It makes all the difference.
All the magic's done in lighting, see?
Yeah, you put LEDs on cars, they go so much faster. Have you seen them?
I'll tell you, mate, you get at least half a brake horsepower on a car, mate, with an LED.
Per LED.
So if you've got a string of LEDs, mate, it's like 500 brake car, isn't it?
Easy.
Put a set of spinners on there and
Phil, how was your trip to London anyway when you went the other day?
I didn't go to London.
All right.
No, I went to Windsor. It's only up the road, so I wanted to go to London. I wanted to queue up. When I first looked, it was 6 hours. Then the second time I looked, it was 9 hours. Then 15, and then 18, and then 24. And I was like, nah,
I'll probably just pass.
Yeah.
I'll probably just wish her well from where I'm standing.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I went at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, just dropped some flowers, had a little wander around, and that's it, really.
Yeah,
that's what I really needed to do. And
Yeah.
It's difficult with stuff like that because, like, you obviously, like, what you want to do is you want to try and you want to pay your respects, but at the same time, there was people that were waiting sort of like 2 days or something like that. There was some woman. She was in the queue with her 6-year-old, and she was like, "Oh, we had to leave the queue yesterday because they had a meltdown." So of course they did, because they were a 6-year-old queuing for 18 hours to see a corpse. Like, that's an objectively odd thing to do anyway. Like, if you explained that in any other way to a group of people, they'd be like, "Yeah, that's weird. You shouldn't do that."
With no tweeties at the end of it.
It's one of those things where it's as well. It's like, so just to be clear, man, we can't stand in the queue at Alton Towers for 40 minutes for Oblivion, but we'll stand here for 2 days to see this.
Yeah,
like,
in the cold.
In the cold.
Yeah. And it did drop temperature around that week.
I do understand, you know, some people's like they always want to be at the front, don't they? They always want to be the first person.
I think what it is, and don't be wrong, I'm sure that for all those people, I'm sure there was a genuine sort of like, you know, I want to pay my respects to an amazing person, and I don't disagree with that. I suppose it's I think a lot of them were like, this is a moment in history. And I want to be a part of the moment of history. I want to be that first guy with an iPhone. I want to be, you know, I want to be the first person to be there to, you know, bearing in mind how widely this was televised. They reckon 5.1 billion people tuned in to watch it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy, wasn't it?
65-70% of the world's population.
It's insane.
And
so
that's only
I can't get my missus to sit down and watch like Lord of the Rings or a television show without being on her phone. She was plastered to that TV the other day.
Yeah.
And then every 2 minutes she'd be like, "Do you know what I find interesting?" I go, "I want to be clear. There's nothing materially interesting about this. Like, you're watching a car drive really slowly up to a massive house. Like, it's objectively uninteresting. I understand sort of like the majesty of the event or whatever, but the actual event itself was like an hour long. The other 7 hours, you were just watching admin.
Driving.
Yeah, it was quite nice to actually watch it though, because obviously it's never been televised or publicized what actually goes on.
Yeah.
And
I mean, don't get me wrong,
breaking the wand and all that stuff. Like, it was all interesting. And as well, I think what was really interesting was it's the interesting things that don't know how state funerals or how military-run funerals work. That they point out things that they really shouldn't be pointing out. So, for example, when Harry and William were walking down the street, and William, who was in full dress uniform, saluted, and everybody else did. Harry wasn't in uniform, so he didn't salute, because you don't. And everyone was like, "Oh," and it was like, actually, no. It's just a geezer in a suit, so he doesn't lob a salute every time he walks past somebody, because that's weird.
And that's it. The people don't get that side of the military things, do they?
They don't.
No.
They don't get. So they did a 70 beats per minute pacing because 70 years of rain, and they had to train that at a metronome. Yeah, and they don't know how difficult that is, trying to pace out 70 beats. That's super hard. Like,
with so many.
And like when they were going into Windsor itself, you know, with the Coldstream Guards, with you know, with the weapons lowered behind the back, that's not comfortable. That it's so uncomfortable.
But yeah, as I say, it was an amazing event. We will never see again.
Very well organised.
Do you see the? So I can't remember what his name was. It's Andrew something. He was the guy who basically. So they've been organising this for like the last 25 years, and every 6 months they revisit the plans and they make sure they're still going to work, and they change them a little bit and incorporate something else. And he walked down the promenade on his own, and I think what's amazing is that nobody will remember who he is. You'll remember William and Kate, and you know how Meghan. When it seemed like every picture that Meghan Markle was in, there was a big fucking candle in front of her face, trying to hide her. Like, you know, it was that they remember all that stuff, but they don't remember the person who's like this geezer's like one of his only jobs was just every 6 months be like, we're all going to walk really slow for ages. It's going to be super hard, and I'm going to get loads of people. Like cannons and all sorts of shit, and just having to organise and do all of that admin. Like it's. I think
the only thing I would say is that they're not going to have to wait 70 years for the next one.
No, it looks like it's ready to go. To be honest,
wow. But as well, the next one will be. It won't be the same level. It won't be the same level of pageantry, right?
No.
At the end of the day, she was our longest reigning monarch.
Yeah.
Think of all the things she's seen. Right, she's gone from Adam West as Batman all the way through to like Ben Affleck as Batman. The sheer number of Batmen that she's seen.
Think of the Doctor Who's.
Like she was around. She's seen the internet. She's seen computers. She's seen mobile phones.
Yeah. She's seen electricity go in houses.
For the most part, yeah. She served in the Second World War. Like, you know, there's a lot. A lot.
Yeah. They're very rare, those sort of monarchs.
And you won't get somebody, even if, hypothetically, even if Charles hadn't taken the mantle and he said, no, do you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I want to go straight to William.
Yeah.
If he'd have decided to have abdicated because he decided to marry that horse puppet of a woman. You know, even if he'd have done that, William is still 20 years older than the Queen was when she sat on that throne. Yeah. And she wasn't young when she finished. Like, she was old. Like, so, you looked at her, he was like, oh yeah, you don't look like the stamp anymore, love. Like,
so to be honest, this screen it's all reality. Like, is it possible?
I was going to say, I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if the white balance is going to kick in.
No. So basically, really it is like an original Ender 3 screen. You know, that display, and it is laid out like that as well. So you've got your info, your motion, your temperature, configurations, no media in. Fast prints is on apparently.
Has it got the pared back menu as well? Like none of the extra bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So has it got level corners?
Yeah.
Oh, it has. All right. Okay. At least it's got that.
It moves though.
Yeah, it moves quite quick.
There's no way it's doing 250 millimeters a second. Like, it's just not doing that.
It could do because there's no filament in it right now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's. It's only got one part calling.
I don't know if you can hear it in the background at the moment. It's doing its startup procedure. I'm not lying. It's not quiet when it's doing its startup procedure. Like, so it does like the vibration checks and everything, and then it does a full probe of the bed and all that stuff. Like it
goes through a proper chatter.
Yeah, it's loud.
Yeah,
like, it is moving incredibly quickly.
But then saying that, I rattle my Hornet up, and that does the chatter to start off with.
Yeah, but your Hornet's dying.
It is now.
I tell you what, my Hornet, it's a proper little workhorse. My Hornet.
Mine's been stable and it's been running since I've got it. I must admit, it runs day in, day out. Yeah. And it's finally starting to get signs of, don't get me wrong, consumable wear.
Yeah.
So, like the Bowden, that's just about on its last leg. The belts are a bit sort of, I'm at full tension, let's put it that way.
So it has a it just has a BL Touch built into it as well.
Great. I mean, their BL Touch doesn't even catch fire. How boring.
Well, yeah, Rat Rig's, special.
I want to be clear, that was not Rat Rig's fault.
No, that was your fault.
I said out of fire.
I've never seen one of them burn like that.
Haven't you?
No.
Well, that's why people watch the channel, to be honest, mate. So that they can see things they've never seen before.
So James at Honey Badger is building a printer that's 400 by 400 by 400, so it's big, yeah. And you have to build it all from scratch. You have to put all the frame together and everything.
Doesn't work.
James went to go and do something, and it had a BL touch on it, which makes sure the bed's level, and his caught fire. I'll show you the video later. It's impressive.
More on fire than you'd want it to be, certainly.
Yeah. Carl, is that a plastic tipped BL touch then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more the older style BL.
Yeah. And do you know what? The CR Touch from Quality is a really solid little unit.
Mm.
You know, it doesn't wear down as much. It's less likely to get snaps if it drops down by mistake. Don't mess with that scraper, you. Jesus Christ, you're gonna kill me.
Did you guys have to change the main board on your Hornets?
No, mine's still on the original.
No, I did have to change the screen. So my screen did die.
Sam sent me over one to play around with the review, and he said to change the board over the screen. So I don't know.
Board, is it?
Yeah.
See, I'm probably going to have to do the screen next.
That's right.
Do you need one, or have you got it?
No, I've got it.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah, he wants me to do a swap over on it, but I don't know a lot about the Hornets to be there, and I've not really dug into the sort of
the pretty basic swap over.
I was going to say they're not super complicated. If I'm honest,
no, more about why.
The biggest issue you'll have is that someone at Artillery has got shares in Hot Glue, like. And he is a vindictive man, whoever it is, because he has caked it. Like it's more hot glue than it is 3D printer.
Yeah. It is.
So getting the plugs out,
that's the hardest part.
Actually, it's subjectively hard. So you're normally there with some needle nose, just like trying to pry off everything that's on there, and as well they've glued the stepper drivers into the slots. So, I don't know if you can see on this one. So I took this one out of Mike's X2 the other day. I don't know if you can see sort of on those black stepper bits here.
Yeah.
So that residue is literally where they glued the drivers to the board. And it wasn't hot glue either. Like it was just someone going, have this. They seem so deathly afraid that something's going to come loose during shipping. Like you could have kicked that thing and it would have come out.
Well, I won't make that one alive then. I'll do that as a pre-record.
You can get away with doing a you can get away with just doing a
short,
like getting a hot gun on it, and it'll loosen enough to mean you can get stuff off.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to adjust these leveling nuts underneath, and one of the bits of metal that goes through is actually scraping the frame. That's not good.
What happens when you got a double nut?
Well, that's the problem.
Can you not raise? No.
Wind out the bottom one and then wind the top one up.
Yeah. So basically, so the top one actually does the raising and the lowering, but then the other one's just to lock it in.
Oh,
I don't know. But it's a bit of a strange setup.
Yeah, so the bottom one, can you wind that one out first and then?
Yeah, that's what you have to do first.
Yeah.
But when you wind it in to tighten up, it's actually still there.
Brilliant. That's genius.
You want to do something?
They made it lock in so well you can't unlock it.
Yeah. It's actually got a big do not touch sign on the front of this as well.
Hello, Tactile.
That isn't good.
Hey, Stephen.
Hi, Steve. Oh, that is frustrating. Oh, it's quite soft. We've got a nice little pattern on there, though. That's bloody annoying to do the back and front though. I have to give it. Oh my god, this is going to kill me. This one.
Oh, it is literally 2 leveling nuts. I thought you
Yeah.
meant it was leveling
No.
nuts, like
No.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So if
So
you
like
look,
a lock leveling nut and
So
a
that-
normal leveling nut.
Yeah.
so that one does the lifting and the raising, and that
the other
one
locks
literally you spin it off
locks it in
and it
place.
stops it. Yeah.
So
Which
I would envision the reason they've done that is because if they're doing 250 millimeters a second, they were probably finding the original nuts were vibrating off.
Yeah, and it would. Yeah, the bed was probably flying off when they got into work.
Yeah.
But oh well, let's try and level it for a bit of a laugh. That's not good. And there's one. No, that was
because the leveling nut was off.
No, that was because it actually spun the bottom one completely off. Why is it so low?
I don't feel like this machine is very good. I don't want to be the one that calls it a bit early, but
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, perhaps swap them out for some Nylox.
I really don't know.
Doesn't really need as big a wheels as that. Only needs slightly smaller.
You think you would have some sort of like little switch or like little piece of plastic that you could lift up to stop it spinning off with the spring in it?
Yeah.
Well, like a locking pin or something.
Yeah. That isn't a very nice noise.
It has double wheels tactile to lock it into place, so they basically, when it's at high speed, they don't come undone. But so far, we're finding them to not want to undo anyway.
admittedly, it does stop them from coming undone at high speed.
And it does create a little groove in the frame.
Are they actually knocking the frame?
Well, this one is. This side is. It's actually touching the frame. There's a little groove in it now.
Really?
Ew.
That's bad. So I was just about to say, to be fair, if you've got a BL Touch on there, then surely you can actually crank right down on that side of the bed to try and lift it off the deck a bit.
Yeah, surely you can lock it off. So
yeah, well, I'm trying. Well, I was watching one of their videos and it was saying to like auto level, manual level on each corner, like you do with a BL Touch.
Yeah.
But that.
So, out of interest, how much weight does it take to push that down?
What, this down?
Yeah. Oh,
my hands.
Terrible noise.
I'm a DJ.
I'm just thinking, like, if you were printing, and you had
if you had a kilogram of filament on here,
like, would it be enough to actually weigh it down?
Why not?
I think if you filled that whole bed and you got it to the top of the gantry, it shouldn't really push that hard down, surely.
Well, it's 220 by 220 by 250. You could easily get 2.5 kilograms of a print on this. What colour shall I put on them, Matt? Normal answers as well, please, Matt.
Yeah.
Put a roll of filament on.
White.
Oh no, sorry. I think it means put a roll of filament on the bed and see whether or not a kilo of filament
White G-Tech
pushes it down.
G-Tech white. I actually have some of that.
Shocking that you've not used it before this point.
Well, I leave it to go out. I put it outside to go make it go yellow.
I use it as a doorstop.
I use it to entice the dogs to the food bowl.
Yeah.
Just randomly chuck it,
I think I'm just going to leave it at this height and just lock it off because that isn't touching now. So leveling it off, especially at gonna have to leave it at this height, aren't I, and level it like this.
I would have thought so.
Otherwise, it's going to be an absolute pain. Oh wow!
Right, I'm really sorry, Carl. I'm gonna have to drop off.
No worries, mate.
I had Five Guys for lunch, and to say that it's going through me is be an absolute understatement. I can honestly tell you it was the most stressful train ride coming home I've ever had. I thought
Say bye. Say bye to
I was
James.
afraid to cough.
Hi, James.
Almost sneezed once.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not trusting anything at the moment.
Bye, James.
Sound like you've been on a train
Go
wreck.
now. You don't shout it in.
Yeah, but
My toilet is none of your business, Matthew. And I'll have you know that I only crap at work normally because I'm not dealing with it.
That's why we employ cleaners at work.
I have, and I want to be clear, this is one of my proudest moments. So every time I get to work, my arsehole connects to the corporate Wi-Fi and immediately is like, oh, I need to go for a crap now. And I'm only crapping on company time. I'm not wasting my own time on going to the toilet. I went, and what I did for a start could have been legally classed as a war crime. Like it was appalling.
Stop it.
And a minute ago, like so, I went out after I had done something very awful. I almost felt ashamed until I walked past the toilet again about 10 minutes later. There was an out of order sign on the toilet. So somebody had gone to facilities and they'd been like, "That's broken.
That is out
Like,
of order.
That's a room we can't use anymore."
Since then, it's never been opened.
Just lob a match in there and be done with it. Just burn down that room. It's completely useless at this point. So
Has anybody
an industrial toilet out of commission?
Has anybody since taken that sign off the door?
They have fixed
Oh.
it. Although it does seem like they've repainted since then. I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying that it does seem to me like the room is a different colour. So that was a real moment for me. I might put that in my end of year when I'm evaluated by my boss. But like, what's your proudest moment of this year? And I'd be like, well,
Changing the colour
I
of the
broke
wall.
that toilet. So
I've done that one.
I've done that. So tick. I've done that. That's one objective.
It's on my bucket
completed.
list.
So yeah, so that's a little insight to my work life in case anyone's curious what it's like working with me on a daily basis. It's pretty much like this, but I also crap.
I also go, Luke.
So anyway, I'm going to go and deal with what's going on inside of my body, and then I'll chat to you guys later.
Catch you later.
Right. Cheers,
See you later,
James. See you later, mate.
Will you stop eating that on there? People can see you eating it, you div. So what I've just done there is the Z offset, and then I've just disabled everything so I can just level it that way. Because
Is it peeling the paint?
I'm slowly but surely coming to the end of my rep wrapper project, which is quite nice.
eventually, finally.
Good.
Finally.
Good.
Only like 6 kilo later. But
That's
I
all
must
those images you've been posting. Was it that?
yeah.
Yeah, they look good.
I must admit, I've had 0 fails.
That's good.
So yeah, and it's printing pretty well. Consider I'm just banging it out at 0.2 standard layer height, but quite high speed as well.
Mm.
Actually doing really well.
That's
I'm
What
really
he's not
impressed.
telling you though is he has killed a couple of printers in the meantime.
You hate?
I said you have killed a couple of printers in the meantime though.
Oh yeah, I've done like 12 printers, but the prints are coming out fine. No, I've done my well, I haven't completely killed it. My Hornet is on last legs, but it is overdue some maintenance. It is way overdue. It's run solid since release.
Well, it must be 12. Must be nearly like 12 months since you had to order that spare part. You know the
Yeah, the
Odin tube in that, wasn't it? Because you got that.
Well, it wasn't even the overtube. I brought a brand new extruder on. The extruder handle on them is quite weak, so I brought a metal one. Yeah. Other than that,
you look like you've got an angry face. Apparently,
what is that? Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't take any notes from Matt, to be honest.
No, to be fair, I get that from absolutely everyone, and then I put on this weird forced smile that creeps people out even more so than my angry.
They're all like, actually, no.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit auto level in a minute, just heat it up and then see how it goes.
How you doing, 3D HP?
Oh my god, I'm ready for the knackers yard today, though. Look at that. It's a black one instead of a white one, usually.
What, USB?
Yeah.
Blimey.
And the usual SanDisk.
It's a scan disk, is it?
SanDisk.
Yeah, so it's actually a semi-decent brand. Rather than the generic rubbish ones that we use for ages.
Unbranded, yeah.
So nozzle is 0.4 standard. It power rated is 360 watts. What extras do we get? So we get a spare nozzle. Oh, the light's on.
Oh,
Nice.
So it's your usual nozzles. Is it Mark 8?
Mark 8, yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Easy consumable, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah. Well, look at that. You get a spare BLT touch. Oh, you get
the little spindle.
The Pro.
3 of them.
Nice.
Maybe.
That's either really nice of them or it says they're quite brittle.
No.
It's a little bit worrying.
A lot of things are made in China, Carter.
Cool.
Cool, yes. Right, let's do something. Let's do auto level. Oh, where's it gone? Level. Auxiliary level. Let's see how it goes. It's quite a bright light, actually.
Isn't it?
Stop messing. It's worse than the rest of the kids all put together, you. It's quite a bright light.
Yeah. Good.
Apparently, there is no way to turn it off in the display, but I'm sure someone will sort that out with the Marlin firmware.
Either that, anybody who buys this printer, don't have it in your bedroom.
Or open it up and disconnect the wire.
Yeah, just cut it.
That's why my shed's been made. Well, had some upgrades done on it. I had Perspex arrive today, and one of the corners is broken. Bloody typical.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
just what I needed. I only ordered one sheet, just to see how it was, what quality it was.
Well, broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great, is it? It's not what you need on a Tuesday afternoon.
No.
Nothing at the moment. What it's doing auto level, so it's working out where the bed is uneven or a different height from each corner. It's quite a quick bed leveling. And
it's not the slowest.
16 point. 16 point this one. Right, you're going to open this then, this filament. Come on. It's bloody messing around with the, the school, the Sunlu S1 bracket we got for the dryer. He's messing around with that.
Warming his hands up.
That.
Oh, the bracket.
Yeah.
Was that the one off of the group?
Huh?
Was that the one off the group? The one we done?
Yeah, that's the one you did.
Yay! It works.
Come on. Right. hold them and just add it in there. Go on. There you go. Now get your finger in there and we've got open. I assure you, he does open his Christmas presents quicker than this. Right. Leave it here. No, don't need that. Pass me the little snips, please.
Right. Snippies! Yeah, you are. Yeah.
They've obviously decided to go with white filament as a sample. I don't know why they all do white filament.
Go. Whack. Silver.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
It's because white looks better when it prints.
Yeah, but you can't show it on photos or videos. You know,
I
when
know,
you're
it's pain in the butt.
It's absolute pain in the backside. You think they would put something in there, you know, like a nice silk or
Yeah.
Brown.
a brown?
Yeah.
Why would you want...
Gold.
Shut up. You're a weird child. You sure you're mine?
Yes. You're weird and weird.
I'm not weird.
Yes, you are. You play some stupid games.
Oh my god.
He's
I
out in you
do
now.
stupid games.
Oh, it's a bloody pain in the ass.
Yes, I am.
So do you remember years ago the J2O adverts, you know, on the side of bus stations and that with the
Yeah.
llamas? So in the summer, this one decides he doesn't want to have a haircut or anything. And a few years ago, because he's got blonde hair, he kind of went a bit like red, a little bit. Because he's
Hi,
a weird child.
Sebastian.
What?
And then we ended up getting a picture of him tucked next to it, and they're like twins. And it comes up on my face, but every year, every time it comes up, it's just a laugh. You like that one? What? Like what? What?
That was good.
Okay, so it's a bit of a...
Dead
You
dog.
stop messing with everything.
Calibrating and speed tuning on his.
So- The filament goes in between these two little
Bearings.
bearings.
Yeah, I think I'm-
And that was actually a wild guess that it went in them. But the good thing is it moves.
Mm.
Bit stiff.
Aren't we all, mate? Whew. Catches up with us. I'm going to have to be honest. I won't be leaving the
I'm
filament
also
spool at the
working
top like this.
on my
Yeah.
T3
I
right
can't.
now.
Because
Clapping and speed turning it.
How's yours going then, Sebastian? Is it?
I'm
You know,
also working
it's
on
needing a lot of calibration.
Calibrating and speed tuning. Well, I'll be honest. Sunlu have been quite honest actually, and they said that the quality at the top end of the speed isn't great. You know, so they're not sugarcoating it and saying it's the fastest printer out there. They have been quite honest.
Honesty boys.
Gosh, like I'm a bloody parrot in here.
I am a parrot.
You calm down. If anyone's looking to have kids, there's an
Don't
excuse
do it.
not to.
It doesn't change, trust me.
No,
Even at
No, it
23.
doesn't.
On this for an hour.
they just get bigger.
And yeah,
1 minute and
So far, it
17
works quite
seconds.
well, but I think I need to put the second part cooling fan on it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of comments on this Sebastian, about the part calling's a problem, which is if so obviously someone's used black filament with it,
Yeah.
but yeah, it doesn't. You definitely need language. and
Clipper,
software.
no Twitter.
Print from SD card. No. So I've got no files on here to print for.
I thought you were just trying to put Twitter on your printer. That would have been quite amusing.
All right, I need.
so
Give
you've
me a
got no
minute.
pre-installed files.
No, I'm gonna have a look and see if it's in a in a
subfolder.
You just So are you going to stick clipper on it then, Sebastian? Because I have a plan to put clipper on a few things now. What am I going to bloody? Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, it might be in a file like inside a file like some companies do.
Oh, good boy.
Don't get it bloody in.
Good boy.
You're a good boy. You're not.
Oh, yes, I am. Don't underestimate me.
Right.
Underestimate me.
I never underestimate you.
Oh.
Christ. Right, let's see what's on
scared.
it. Wait, will you chill out? I'll say child. Right, will you be quiet? And it's not showing. Great.
So they're hidden the files so you can't find them?
In all fairness, it's not even showing on this.
Really?
Right, give me a minute. Let me just go get my MacBook. Here.
They just stitched you and didn't put any models on it. Go on, do a live stream with that.
I'm surprised at that if there's not some on there.
There'll be some somewhere. I had one of my printers not long back, but they buried them into a different subfolder.
Yeah.
They just weren't reading them. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Be careful with them.
I know.
There is a benchy with a
Right,
huge...
just saying hi over and over again does not mean anything to anyone. No, it doesn't. Maybe
There
for
you
a
go, Carl.
Teletubbies video.
There's a benchy on there with a huge exhaust.
Stop it. Right, let me sit there for a minute.
Pretty much like half the cars going around Torbay at the minute.
Come on, move. Oh, Christ. Why have you got your bloody blanket in here for?
Like micro machines with exhaust coming out the back. It's like, really? Come on, mate.
There is a huge bench. There's a bench with a huge exhaust on the micro SD card. Not on mine, man. Not on mine.
Well, there is, but finding it is another story.
Oh, yeah.
There's a card say scrap.
It's a really bright light, that, I tell you.
Mm.
Oh, helps if we put the pull it in, doesn't it? Right, come on. Come on, Matt. Don't let me down.
That's what she said.
Oh. Okay, so there is test files, but how the bloody hell did you get it? What the hell is that?
You got a lot you're working on at the minute, Phil.
Yeah, I've got quite a few things, and Sam's sending over more stuff in the next 2 weeks, but he's really busy at the moment because he's going to is it?
He's going to Earth.
Earth, yeah.
Earth.
So he took a load of print. He come around and got the Viper the other day because obviously he did that AnyCubic weekend. He was supposed to launch the new machine, but they pulled that out on the last minute.
Baby.
But yeah, so he's supposed to be bringing me over a few items within the next few weeks, or I'm going to collect it from him.
Nice.
He didn't realise I didn't drive, so it was like.
You're not far from him, though, are you?
No, he lives. Well, I don't want to say. Yeah, he lives about.
I've got his address because I've got to send him some stuff. But yeah, he does.
Yeah,
don't live far,
about 20 miles, something like that. Yeah, not far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. You know, Sam's a good. I like him.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's one of the good characters in the community.
Oh yeah, Sam's awesome.
Him, James, and Mike,
You got
Honey Badger.
yeah.
I've got a lot of time for them guys, and then I've got Modbot, in America.
Yeah,
got a lot of time for him, and Tripod.
Yeah.
And then you've got your usuals, your 3D Nerd, Jerry, Astro Prince Hill. Then they all do some good content every now and again, and you kind of get sucked into it, don't you? But yeah.
This is it. I got awkwardly asked to. I was out one day and a message pinged up on my Instagram. Fancy doing a quick video for my death races? And I was like, Sam, I'm out shopping at the moment. I'm not even in the summer house. And he said, just 20 seconds. I want you to say something and put death races. So I went, all right, fine. So I'm driving up Bath Road going shopping.
Is that why? Oh, you were in the car on yours.
It's just the most random thing. My wife was laughing her head off. I had to retake 3 times. He's like, have you done it yet? Have you? Yeah. Send it over. That evening, look on YouTube. I'm in with 3D Printing Nerd on their video and try. I just thought, my God. I really wished I'd sort of made a bit more of an effort, but he caught me off guard.
Quality.
But yeah, no, he involves me in stuff like live streams and just brings my name out of the hat, and I appreciate any support from you guys. Obviously.
As we all do, mate. To be honest,
That's
I mean,
why,
I think it's all about supporting each other, isn't it? At the end of the day.
I've had quite a lot of comments come through on my Instagram about your website. I was going to talk to you guys about that.
Cool.
Saying that they love to see these sort of things. There's not enough of this. You see, like brands
Stupid
and
people.
No, just people that are like users of them of a variety of machines, talking about their experiences, how they go about it. You know, sharing knowledge and pictures. And, it's too often that we see these brands and companies showing what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Now, I don't buy any machines based on what I read online, apart from you guys on groups and stuff like that. I look at all of the content first before I make it.
I think it's a case of everybody's got a favourite.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got a favourite, and everybody's got dislikes. But I think until you actually get that machine, you can't make your own mind up. No,
that's right. And you guys know that I'm into the Anycubic brand. I do preach a little bit on it, which is probably going to be a bit of a downfall on my channel, to be fair, because I'm kind of affiliating myself a little bit.
But there's nothing wrong with doing that, to be honest, because I really started out with like reality products.
Yeah.
So
we both did.
So I started off with like an Ender 3 Pro, well, an Ender 3. I battered that, and then I got an Ender 3 V2. And then what did I get then?
You had the 6.
I got a CR200B.
Yeah.
2 of them. And I got an Ender 7. Got the Ender 3 S1, which is
you
now
had the
behaving.
Smart.
Oh, the dog shit. Smart. Which, in all fairness, when it first came out, I had the actual only functional one. Because mine works. And then I updated the software and it hated me.
When it wanted to.
But then I got the Focus. So I got the Focus, didn't we, off Dora?
Yeah.
And it kind of opens your eyes a little bit, like there's other things out there. And you're kind of like, okay, this is a little bit different. It's direct drive. It's not a wide printer. It's the footing's quite small with a Focus. Like it's probably about 7 or 8 centimeters shorter than an Ender 3 V2. So you can line them up quite well, like in these shelving things.
Yeah, that's it.
But it just prints well. It's a Volcano nozzle, so it is I kind of like the Volcano nozzles, like especially on the Magician X. I've got it on there. I've got the Ender 7's got a mini Volcano or something. And do you know what? I really like my. Okay, right. I have to download the software. I really like the Ender 7 actually, because when it does print and I've got it level, it's good.
Yeah,
and that does print really fast.
Yeah, I'm finding a lot through the communities and all these new sort of touch leveling and stuff like that is kind of for people that are new to 3D printing, people that don't have experience are heading straight towards that.
Yeah,
and you don't learn enough about 3D printing when you go straight to auto bed leveling.
You miss out on
the tweaking, the
general knowledge of it.
And like what I see you doing just then with that printer brings back some. Well, to have auto bed leveling plus adjusting is good. I mean, that would be a good starter machine for someone. You learn both sides of it. So
and I think having like baby stepping
You know, especially if you've got a BL Touch or CR Touch or something like that. Being able to do baby stepping is another step to understanding the functions and what you should be looking for. Yeah, Sebastian, I could get the files on my laptop, and I can see it's a benchy with a chimney that's like 10 centimeters high and some sort of vase. Yeah, anything over 30 centimeters. Yeah. Like these sort of beds, they're quite small, but they are. They're so cheap though. BL Touches now.
The Pyramid that came without a BL Touch, and that was hellish fun to get right.
That was trying to get that 300, wasn't it?
Yeah. But when I got it right, when you nailed the Pyramid, that was a stunning printer. It was just an absolute pig to get there.
Yeah, because it was basically a CR10, wasn't it?
Yeah, more or less CR10, but using the Fuku's board and screen, isn't it?
Yeah,
the same MKS Rubin board and screen. So it's a lovely printer, but if you've not much knowledge on leveling a standard printer, you've got no hope with it. No hope. It was a proper fight.
Yeah. Oh, what is going on with this? Doing my head in. But like, so I've got to say, Anycubic are really impressing me at the moment because, well, we had this conversation yesterday, didn't we, Phil, about the Mono X? Like, consider that was what, $700, $800 when it first come out. It's down to what, 320 quid now, which is what, 380. And they've just released the Mono X2, which is a little bit off the Z, but the build plate is a touch bigger, and that's only 450 quid brand new.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
And it looks terrible. And it's 60 millimeters. Is it 60 millimeters an hour?
Yeah, I think it was 60 mil an hour, wasn't it?
6 centimeters an hour. Yeah, 60 millimeters an hour. That's not bad for a resin printer. My Mono X is an absolute workhorse. Yeah.
Well, if you look at the Cobra series they brought out, I absolutely love my Cobra.
Yeah,
I really do. I love it. It basically does exactly what you ask it to do,
with no drama.
Yeah,
they're a good looking machine though. And they've kept it like with the Cobra Max, and the Cobra. I can't remember. They all look the same, so you can tell they're from that family. And then the Go they've just brought out, I think, is a really good entry level for a newbie. You're assembling a printer like an Ender 3. You're having to actually build something. And if you watch Sam's video, like you know, there were teething problems, always going to be. Doesn't matter what printer it is, you're always going to have problems. But that's something like the less than £200. You can buy, you can assemble, and you can lose your hair trying to figure out what's going on. And then you world your oyster.
I do find on the flip of that the Artillery Hornet, I know that people do hate it.
Yeah.
But like 160 quid, I think it's at now, 180 tops. And I tell you what, mine has been an absolute dream, to be honest. It just prints. It hadn't got BL Touch. It hadn't got a run-out sensor. It's pretty much an Ender Pro, if you like. But it does it. It just gets on with it. I mean, I've ground mine to the ground hard for the last year. And really, it can still print. It's just things are starting to show signs, you know?
Sebastian's just saying there, like Anycubic, that their sales on some of their resin printers have been fantastic. Mad. Like, we know the Mono X has been discontinued and it dropped the price. I think it was Easter time. They dropped it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And the Mono 4K, again, it's a small printer, but for €146. That's brilliant. Which is what?
It's peanuts, isn't it?
Especially considering the pound. Resin, Oh, God, the wife's on here.
Coffee.
Hello, Mrs. She makes the best cup of tea in the world. My wife, however, purposefully does the worst coffee, so we don't have to get another one afterwards.
My missus does a great one. She just blatantly says, "You ain't having one." It's, no beating around the bush. She's like, I ain't doing you one.
Right to the jugular.
No, she makes really good cups of tea, really good, and a good bacon butty.
Hello.
Poor wife has to part with me.
Have you
I think
found
the Anycubics are really cheap at the moment, like all printer wise.
Have you found this model, Carl?
I'm actually loading their Cura now because
okay.
I'm likely to fall asleep waiting for it to do something. And I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to try and slice a bench or something.
Cool, mate. You're just so lucky. She makes an awesome coffee and she doesn't even drink it, man.
No, she doesn't drink tea or coffee. She only drinks like hot Ribena or hot cordial.
3D.
Yeah, my nan used
Hello,
to
Tim. Tim's another channel I love watching, actually, because like...
Yeah,
it was building the 500, but the rat rig 500 by 500, and he was having like a day since last accident in the corner because he was giving himself a dent in his head and everything else. But like Tim's like really into like the Voron builds now. Like, you've done the V01. Is it 2.4 you're working on now? Sebastian, yeah. DWIT 3D is Tim. Yep. I've got to do that again. More injuries than most. No, it's usually my Monday watch. I watch like Tim's YouTubes in the morning because obviously he live stream on a Sunday night in Canada time. It's too late for me. So it's normally my catch up.
I've started catching most of the streams that I watch generally while I'm working now. I've got to the point where I'm watching streams more than actually doing work.
I've said this back all along.
Bad, mate. I am trying to convince my boss to let me have a screen in front of my polishing wheel, but he ain't taking it too well.
Did you get anything else done on the CR30, Phil?
Me? Yeah, I did a few things. Yeah, I think I was going to attempt and articulated on it. Nah, I struggled. If I'm really honest with you, I struggled with it. Sam said that he didn't have much luck at all. I managed to fine tune some Cura settings, but it was their own one.
Tim. Their own version. Sam. Yeah, I remember Sam unboxing it and doing his review.
He hated it from the get-go.
A little bit disappointed with it.
Yeah.
I think if you know if you fine tune it, and it'll take you a while to do, and you probably have to do it for every type of
filament,
every type of model that you might want to work with. It's not going to do the same each time because of the way that it works. I mean, I managed to get this calibration. I mean, that was 0.2. Not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad.
There's a bloke on Twitter. Right. I can't think of his name, but he won the CR30 actually on their launch, and he lives in America, and he did a massive PET-G print with it, and he's potentially has some of the nicest prints off them printers. Like he makes some serious cosplay stuff. Metal head something. He's got that dialed in.
Yeah,
like big time. He does some amazing work with it. But it's a lot of money, isn't it, for a printer? That
$1,000. I think it's still £1,000.
Yeah, it is an expensive bit of kit, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's quite strange how it lays each layer onto the bed. It actually pushes the nozzle into the fabric.
Yeah.
So where we would normally hover the nozzle slightly,
very easy.
It's almost pushing into the fabric to be able to get that each layer. It's quite strange. You can hear a slight drag.
Almost burying itself all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully that was supposed to happen. Sam's probably watching this and thinking, no.
He's probably thinking, what you're doing.
Damaged my printer. To be fair, he took it back off me.
Yeah, it's that. Oh, Cura's opened. That 45-degree angle it's at. It's a strange one, isn't it? Watching it. Because it does look good. But then when you actually sit down and think about it, how does it actually do something? Tim's got one actually. Tim had one in the box for months. Like most people, I believe.
Very heavy.
Yeah, it's bulky, isn't it?
I think it's like 25 kilos. That's how it felt anyway,
Jesus
trying to get it back out to Sam's
Christ.
van. And he just launched it in the back.
Could you imagine the
Kick
shipping
it
on
out
that
as
then
you
if you
drove off,
ordered it?
like. You can have that.
Okay, right. I suppose I better download some.
I sold it.
I'll be
Fair
2
play.
seconds.
So I have the slicer opened. Oh, it's only set at 50 millimeters a second. Good. Right, let me find a benchy or something that isn't a benchy. Tell you what, I'll do the check cube, might we? How's your TikTok stuff going as well, Phil? Is it getting there?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay on top of all these social networks, quite difficult. And then obviously, as I said to you yesterday, Spring added me as admin to the Viper group. I was a bit like, okay, I don't really know a great deal about the Viper. I only reviewed it for a couple of weeks. Pretty much like most of the new Anycubics anyway. But yeah, so then she asked me a week later, is it all right? I've added you as the admin. I was like, yeah, I've already been approving people. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's it. Spring's fantastic, isn't she?
She is. Yeah, she's very.
I actually found her and Sam actually on Christmas the year before last. Actually on Facebook, Sam was doing a Christmas live with Spring.
Yeah,
that was quite entertaining, as you could imagine. With Sam.
Yeah, Sam's. Yeah, his content's brilliant. I just said when he came round, it was very awkward the first time I met him because it's all new, it's normal to him, but for me it was like, okay, I'll watch you on TV the other day. That was slightly weird, and I was basically you sort of watching these people and taking on board all their comments about printers, and then they're knocking on your front door. It's like, okay, like things are changing now. But yeah, he's so down to the ground and so open with his knowledge, very knowledgeable.
And you know what?
He's way to deliver the message.
His intros and outs on his videos just get better every time I see him.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
He puts some serious effort into them, and he
Amon does king.
Oh my god. I can't even get this working. I've got to sign in apparently. How do I remember my passwords? That was a guess. Okay, let's see if this works now.
I'm back.
Do you know what? It is not letting me put anything into it. This is really annoying me. This is frustrating. I love it when things go to plan. Like
going well.
It just won't go into the slicers either.
Download a cube.
I've done it.
Still not doing it.
It won't let me pull it into the slicer, or I've just restarted it to see if that helps. If not, I'm just going to...
Who's the A team?
Yeah, let's have a number.
Sebastian, did you have any issues putting anything into the slicer? Because as soon as I open it up and then I try and put an STL into it, it just doesn't like it. Oh, the resin unboxing's better than this.
Hey?
I hope the resin 4K is better than this.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Oh, we've got it working.
Yay!
There we go.
It's only gone and done it.
It's only gone and done it. Right, how much is that?
Yeah, no, I've known Spring, funnily enough, since way before she was with any Cubic.
Yeah, she used to work with G-Tech. Yeah,
she was with G-Tech originally.
Yeah.
When I first met her with Spring.
Well, I found Tactile 3D via Spring. I don't know it very often.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like another Tebow.
But I am going to have to... Right, I'm going to... You know what? I'm gonna do
All right, yeah, see, Sebastian used a Ender 3 profile and went from there.
I probably should have done that, to be honest, but oh well.
Hey-ho.
Save to a disk, yep.
Yes, Spring actually took over from a friend of mine who worked there previous at G-Tech. So I was at the start of G-Tech when Spring joined.
Yeah.
She's always been fantastic. So helpful.
She's so helpful. Like I was saying to Phil yesterday, he said, message me in the middle of the night out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then I've messaged her back and you get nothing back and you're like, oh.
When she was with G-Tech, I'm sure it was Sam. Yeah, Sam then was used to do live streams with Spring in the middle of the night. It was awesome. They were brilliant.
Yeah, the Christmas live they did together was
that was awesome.
It was incredible because Sam was getting very merry on his alcohol-free beverages.
And he speaks very freely at the best of times.
He doesn't need a drink, does he?
No. But yeah, Spring used to stay up just to join Sam's streams in the middle of the night over there. So
if anyone watches this and they're looking at getting this, it will, and they have a MacBook, they promised me it will be out this week for iOS users.
Yeah, they do. They generally change on a routine, don't they? They've got like a 5 o'clock finish and then sort of to a midnight finish, and
you get some random messages, don't you, like 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, why aren't you in bed?
Why are you talking to me? All your team's gone to sleep. Why are you still talking? It spins you out.
Explain to my missus, if my phone pings up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's got some lady's name. It'll be a British name.
Yeah.
It'll be like, that's a slightly weird thing to have on your phone. It's like, oh, it's all right. It's just someone asking if I wanted to test something.
Phone's always on mute, mate, from 12 o'clock.
Now it is, yeah. I had one the other day. I think you guys must have had the same messages, actually.
Probably.
They were starting to groom me a little bit into, buy 2 items from Amazon, give us good feedback. And I was like, well, first of all, I don't do that. If you want to send me something, I'll happily review it and tell you how I feel. And if I feel that it deserves a good feedback, I'll stick it out and I'll share it with people in the groups and stuff. But other than that, I don't do reviews or rating based on getting my money back.
I was getting untold at one point, and it was for even like toothbrushes and things like that. I'm like, mate, no.
Oh, really?
No, I went mad at one point.
So you won't know her, Phil, but Martin will. Remember Marie? Is it Maria from Maria from Creality?
Yeah.
But she set out her own business.
Or Marie. Yeah.
And she went on TikTok selling stuff.
Yeah.
So we got some stuff off her, didn't we, Martin?
Yeah.
And the other week, I kept getting these random parcels in the mail. And I was getting a bit concerned what was actually coming.
Yeah.
I was getting sent bras.
Free haven in the house.
Bras from... I got about 8 pairs of bras sent to me over the course of about 10 days.
That weren't Marie.
And I was like, it said TikTok shop. I was like, what the fuck have I ordered on TikTok shop? Like, seriously. And I give them to the missus and she's like, oh, they're nice. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't order them.
trying to put it on your 3D printer to see why it's not fitting.
I did tell Carl he missed a trick there because he should have been like, I brought it for you.
Well, yeah.
He'd have got a free cuppa.
I'll be perfectly honest, I would probably struggle to get into them. They weren't the biggest cups.
No.
But yeah.
So hello.
I think about 8 days ago.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Freehaven.
Make a meal right
in the house, Mr. Non-Fam.
Everybody's joining in. Carl's making a major monster meal of getting a first print going at this point.
I would like to say that I'm not, and that Martin is doing a hormonal male. It's his time of month.
So far, we've waited 20 minutes to put a model in a slicer.
Well, I was promised files. I was promised files on the SD card.
Where else are we streaming? On YouTube?
TikTok and YouTube. Right, let me get this camera back up. Start camera. Oh, God, that's a bit scary, isn't it? Seeing me in two places. So I have actually got a file in there now. And I'm going to add it to stream. Right. Let's freaking finally, Jesus, hairy man. Right, let's try again. So it's now showing a calibration cube. I've got no idea how this is going to go, but we'll find out. Here we go. Oh, this is the only downside of it not being in the shelf after kneeling down to get ready.
Did Matt miss our chat then, did he? Why did you get a bra sent to you? If you walked in on that, that's slightly misleading on a 3D printing review.
So it does leveling at the start of each one. So obviously that will have to be taken out of the G codes, I think, for me.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're leveling for the sake of leveling.
Yeah. So actually, I seen yesterday on TikTok that someone's done, the Ender 2 Pros.
Yeah.
So they've created some G code where it actually goes around the outside of the actual printing area of it.
Oh, that's clever.
There's like a corner in each one,
and
it uses the same amount of filament as it does down the side. So I'm actually going to plan to try that on there because I really like the Ender 2 Pro.
Yeah,
it's a small little printer, and it just works.
Does what it says on the tin.
I got a bra sent to me, Matt, to they paid me £1,000 to wear it. And I refused to do it because I thought you would have been better suited to it.
Basically, it was the wrong colour, and we said Matt is the man for this bra.
Yeah. Oh, we got a click.
Yeah, is that actually chucking anything out, Carl?
Oh, it looks like it. I'll be perfectly honest, I can't see. But I am going to... That ticking noise is the back. It's not actually the nozzle. I hope not.
It's not bouncing out the extruder?
No.
Weird. Okay, that's annoying.
I can't see a bloody thing.
Oh, okay. Sebastian was saying he just replaces G29 with an M420.
I'm just going to keep adjusting until I actually see something. So that light is really bright, and it does actually make it really hard to see. That is moving
quick. Yeah, it's moving quick.
Jesus. And that was only at 50 millimeters a second on the slicer.
I can't see that's hitting 200.
I tell you what, though, it's quiet.
It is really, considering how quick it's moving. Push more buttons. There's not many buttons on it, to be honest with you, Milroy. There's only one.
Hang on, let me turn this big light off. It might. It is putting some down. How good it is, I don't know.
Yeah, it is late.
Yeah, it's looking all right.
It's shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the travel set at?
I haven't looked that far.
Because I'd say the travel's probably 120 looking at that.
Mm.
Let me have a look. Oh, I have to go for Travel, come on.
80 to 120 maybe.
Well, to be honest, I messed around with mine, didn't I, for the Ender 7. I turned acceleration up to 10,000. And it broke
Surprise.
quite quickly. Really quickly.
You didn't enjoy it.
Acceleration.
So you, Matt, are you, Martin, sorry. I'll get there in the end. Are you reviewing a 4K soon then, are you?
Well, Carl's got a 4K in to do an unboxing that we're looking at pretty soon.
Okay, so printer acceleration is 500 millimeters a second.
My gosh.
500 a second. Okay.
And that is infill acceleration and wall acceleration. So everything is at 500.
That'll be why it's going so quick, mate.
Mm.
So I'll tell you what, the light at the front is a nice little touch, but it's also really deceiving because it's actually miles away from the nozzle.
Mm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good for when you're doing higher prints, won't it? You can actually see a lot more of the front of the face.
I think it's the same. How far is it on the code? It's quite close to the nozzle, actually, on the Cobra Max.
The worst one was on the bloody Smart because they put a freaking
let's put two LEDs
LED on the side
that point downwards and get blocked by the fan shroud.
Yeah.
Nice one, Crowley. That's really good. That
brilliant.
You only get a bit of light on it if you print over 20 centimeters high.
Yeah, and then it was so dim, it was like kind of pointless putting it on there.
Mm.
Have you changed the bed on this yet, Sebastian? Or are you still using the one that came with it? Because I've got one of these beds on my Ender 2, actually, and I will be honest, it has seen better days.
Yeah, the mag beds are great, but they do die pretty bad.
Like it.
Yeah.
Like every now and again, I'll print over where these bits are stuck in just to get them off.
Yeah. Try and drag it out.
Yeah. But this has been abused. It costs next to nothing, doesn't it, these beds, compared to a PI.
I must admit, I do love my PIs, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to try and get one from a Magician X.
Yeah, that's the downfall on the Magician, is actually that glass bed.
I would love their Magician X Max.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I think that would be really good competition for the Cobra Max.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that was pretty much what was aimed, wasn't it? They were both sort of similar sort of time, the Max on both of them.
I have had problems with my Magician X. I can't lie. It did take off when it was doing bed leveling. Yeah. And it did take off when it was putting down some filament. Like, it was strange, wasn't it, Martin?
Yeah, yours was a bit weird. It was the first time I've ever seen that. It looked like freaking E.T.
It looked like Michael Jackson taking
Honestly,
off
the head just sort of went up like that.
It'd go like that.
Come back down, and it joined the bed.
And then it go back down at the next corner, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing that for?
I was actually
printing a round circle.
The thing I've seen in a while.
But when it prints, that glass bed on the Magician X, it sticks.
Yeah.
Well, and even if you do baby setting just to take it up, it still sticks.
Yeah.
If your first layer is not good, it just sticks to it like glue still. It's the first one I've actually felt. You know, when it's cold, you can feel the grip, and then when it's warm, and if you give it a touch, you can actually feel that grippiness has gone somehow.
Yeah, no, it's a good setup on the Magician.
And they're really Minga, a really good company. You know, is it Wenny, isn't it, who we speak to? She's dead nice. She's really nice.
Yeah.
She did a live the other day with Teddy on the weekend. He was unboxing the Magician X Max. Yeah. You know, so was it 200,000 printers they sold as well now, haven't they?
Yeah, done really well. Really well. And again, when he's another one that does actually put in a lot of effort. She does reply quite quickly usually, unless she's absolutely stacked out. But generally, she's a quick replier, and she will do what she can to sort of solve your issue.
Yeah.
Have you done any more resin printing since you did the Eiffel Tower, Phil?
Me? No. I was just cleaning out the vat earlier, actually. I was going to trial some of the other resin that I was sent, so I'm going to give them a go. Not too keen on that grey.
I know Alice too. Alice.
What, the Conjure one?
Yeah.
See, James has done some of his. He did a Focus mint busting one, and it was beautiful. You know, the contrast in the colours. It was really nice.
Really clean, wasn't it?
My bottle's up there still. I've not got round to trying it yet.
Yeah.
I have to say, longer resin is really nice.
Right.
And Sunlu's plant-based resin is incredible. Like, it's one of my go-to resins now.
Yeah.
You know, I love. Where have I put it? I absolutely love the bottle designs. Like,
you
know, and I know people say, well, but if you're pouring out one of these,
the angle is
it's horrible.
Yeah.
With this, you've got so much control.
Well, it's like a car oil, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it. It's been specifically designed for liquid pouring.
You don't put a frigging car oil in a round bottle, do you? Because it just goes everywhere.
The footing as well. But that you can get more of them lined up, nice and tidy.
Yeah.
The plant-based did smell a little bit when I opened the bottle, but that kind of went afterwards. And even their old stuff as well. I've got a litre of their blue transparent, which I did the dragons in not long ago, which made me cry a lot. And gave me like night terrors for weeks.
It made me crease up for weeks.
And Akuma Mods, Matt Farmer, the resin printing god, tagged me in a bloody video the other day. Someone was going on about him again, and my left eye started twitching. Yeah. Since they've changed their bottles and they've done whatever they've done to their resin.
Yeah.
I think our friend Maker Millwright actually has been playing with a few model designs for resin as well lately.
Right.
From talking to him earlier, he was saying
he's forever designing, isn't he?
Yeah, he was saying he's actually done a couple of resin designs as well as FDM designs lately. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think I am gonna splash out on the Mono X.
Are you gonna go for the original or the X2?
I don't know, because I don't like the sound of something being discontinued as a new
thing is, if you go with
green, so the parts are easy enough to get for it.
Yeah, because they're fairly generic in some.
The thing is, if you're going for the Mono X, basically what stock is in the UK now is the stock.
Do you know what? If I had the money right now and I was between them two, I would buy the Mono X again. And it's only because it's new.
Yeah.
Only because it's new, and because I had my first damage FEP on it last week, 2 weeks ago, and I've been printing on it for 6 months.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Carl uses is a lot.
Yeah. You know, they've not been used for a couple of weeks with the maintenance in here and that, but nearly 6 months of abuse, and the first FEP went. But like my problem is I've got all my prints everywhere and I keep dropping them all. And they all keep breaking. So I'm sorry to all my favourite designers, but this was one of my first that did on the Mono X.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's a Chaos Course Tech one. So it's got all the details. It's beautiful. Hang on, let me put this light on. You'll be able to see better. I brought all these lights. They've got all remotes, and I never know where the remotes are. Like, that one's nice. My kids asked for these.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
And they're still in here. But like Focus Mint has really Like,
Each
made
step
me
right
love
up.
resin printing. It, you know, there's designers out there, isn't there, that you go to that just like makes your head explode. You know, like what they can actually do. That was my first photo mint when I did on the Mono X. It's gorgeous,
Yeah,
like the
that's
detail.
amazing. Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
like hold on, I've got them here actually.
I mean, for me, it's unlimited barrage for miniatures. There's so many designers out there that just create insanely good minis.
yeah.
Insanely good minis.
So my actual first print on the Mono X wasn't actually a test file. It was that. It did fail.
That's a difficult one to push on your first try.
And then I made it a bit smaller and I got it all done. Like,
Yeah, I did one slightly smaller. Bearing in mind, I'm on the OG Photon. That I think I almost breached the build plate on just on the bottom part. I just wanted. There's so much potential with it.
those that print there is so difficult to do.
Yeah,
Like the even like the handrails are on there. It's incredible, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
how thick
I
it
did
actually
get
is.
a wobble though. To be fair, you could see there's a rippling, but I think I disturbed it when I took it off, and it was still felt quite spongy. So what I'll do next time is cure it on the actual
Build
plate because it's a lot more solid now. I feel like I'd probably snap them, whereas before they felt quite wobbly. But that's just my inexperience with resin. To be fair,
I've not seen many of them BIQU Pixel Ls. I know Sebastian won one. I've not seen any details on them really, and they look nice. They got a top hinge. It's not looking the nicest cube.
It's looking like a cube, though.
probably needs calibrating.
But resin printing is so addictive.
Yeah.
Like even the Harlot Plus I've got prints really nice. Like I got speed setting off Matt Farmer Kuma mods, and like I learned so much just by putting them on there. Like, what does light off mean? You know, you kind of just see it in your slice and you just ignore it. You know, and I was able to take like 3 hours off by reducing it to half a second instead of 1 second. Adjusting the lift distance and the lift speeds. It just it's crazy. Like the detail you get on there. And like obviously you're on the OG one. If you got a Mono X or a Mono X2, your mind would just be blown
out, yeah.
The only downside is you can easily go through a litre of resin in a day with one.
Yeah, because you're pushing it.
Yeah. You're probably looking at about 500, 600 mils in that Mono X.
But that's the thing with FDM. The quicker the printers are going now, the more filaments and consumables we're using.
Yeah.
You know, it's something to be expected, isn't it? The only difference is with
like that review I put on the longer 30, the orange. Like one of my headings was, "Don't let the size of this printer fool you," because it just like it's a 2K screen. Yeah, putting the panels together for the UV light is boring and tedious, but my God, it prints really nice for a 2K screen. Like we were going through the 4K, weren't we? And like it's actually got better quality prints than the Mono X.
Yeah, the longer 4K has got a better res, hasn't it, than the
They're light. Yeah, the way they've done their UV light underneath is like, I don't know what they've done with it actually.
Wasn't it a case of reflected or magnified differently, wasn't it?
Something, but like the resolution on it is fantastic. Like that D2 Cubic.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Modbot unbox his, and it looks really nice. And he tagged another content creator, and he literally split the printer down, and like the actual head was that size. That puts the pattern onto the screen to give you the detail. That big. You know, it's quite scary, isn't it? Because obviously FDM, the big thing at the moment at entry level is fast. Focus Smart. You've got the Sunlu. You've got the G-Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new G-Tech's quick, isn't it?
What else is there now at the
Well, you
moment?
Can't think of what else is classing as semi-quick out there at the minute, to be honest. Oh, the FL Sun.
Yeah, but that's a different market, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a clip. To have a mainstream
base, isn't
clipper printer is huge, but this is £200 less.
Yeah.
And, if you got this as your first printer, you'd be gutted when you buy an Ender 3. I'd probably possibly look at making it direct drive. And maybe putting another part cooling on it. But it's quiet.
It is quiet.
I'd have to be shouting. Like when I had my Ender 3 that was a donor printer printing, my mate across the road could hear it. That's probably why I've not converted it to the belt printer completely yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, these digital micro mirror devices are impressive. They're so small. Like you look at the screen with a piece of paper on it, you can see the pattern it does. You don't realize it's like that big. Like that. Have you seen the Anycubic, the small one they've got coming out? It's like literally is. I think it's roughly this size, a little bit wider.
Oh
It's
yeah,
literally that big.
Oh, the pocket printer thing.
Yeah, that is it's. They've actually developed micro or whatever they want to call it for it. That new one they've got as well, the big one that does 1600 millimeters a second.
Yeah,
Like,
that's nuts.
the one with the auto
feed.
door open.
Yeah, and you can have different resins in it as well.
Yeah.
It's got an auto color feed. Like,
Oh, okay.
that's that's crazy speeds. I tell you who will have it. It's Your Boy in Space will guarantee have that on his TikTok.
Yeah.
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 And I'll be looking forward to it because obviously he does loads with his bamboo, doesn't he? But yeah, that it's gonna have a nice big price tag with it though, I reckon.
Oh, it'll be naughty money.
I reckon it's gonna be in excess of 1,003, 1,004.
Yeah, at least.
Ooh.
I know a company that were doing a watercolor resin last year, but it only primarily went to the hospital industry, and that was in the few thousand.
Well, someone did it. Someone did it themselves, didn't they? I think they had a Mono X actually, and they converted it into 2 build plates.
Yeah,
and 2 vats.
Yeah.
And it did work, but obviously you're cutting down the build plate size, huge. But the technology's out there, isn't it? It's getting better.
Yeah.
Resin's cheaper than it was 12 months ago.
It's flying around now, isn't it? To be honest.
I am looking at getting some sort of like mini heater to actually put in the enclosure once it's sealed in. It's only like £20, but I'm not quite sure what size area it will heat up. Because there's a couple of files to put out actually inside the resin printer under the enclosure. I don't know if I want to do that and melt the lid.
Yeah.
Because that would be something I would do. Then you're looking at about £12 for the probe, so you can actually monitor the heat. Set it at your height or your lowest. So it's not bad. Again, it comes down to how much it's going to cost an hour to run. With a smart meter, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said to Phil yesterday, my cheat for winter is know what resin you're putting on, put it on your radiator the night before, let the radiator heat it up, hop outside to the garden, get in your shed, pour it in, get your heat gun, get some more heat on it, get the lid on it quickly and hit print. That's because obviously it does heat itself inside. Because obviously the lasers, the UV curing gets warm with the fans and all that. Right. I need a better cleaning station, probably going to buy a bigger ultrasonic cleaner. I use the yellow goo one, and I can't think of the name of what it is, but it's a 2-in-1, and it's got a 7-litre container for IPA. It's a lot. But the newer version, you can get a UV pen with it now that you connect, so you can get inside the actual prints of the holes. I think it's really good. It's got the UV arms that go up. It's got UV underneath, so that the whole thing gets covered. So I had the original 2-in-1 anicubic one, which was fine. Just my prints off the Mono X didn't fit on it. And again, it comes down to, like you were saying, the bigger the resin printer you get, you need a bigger cure station. You need a bigger wash station. It's but anicubic washing cure plus fits because Matt uses his for the M3 Max, so be fine. But that's quite cheap now as well. Because we were looking at the longer one, weren't we, Martin?
Yeah, I think
they've sold out worldwide.
Yeah, I think that one was about 150. The one you've got at the minute, 159. I think I've seen it at.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
It's a good little unit.
Yeah, for sure. The
only downside is it's like £30 for 5 litres of IPA. So you're putting 50 quid in there with IPA.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I've got 2.5 litres in there because I'm a tight ass.
Got another 2.5 litres of water.
Yeah. Do you know what? If I could get away with it, I would.
Yeah.
Like I am tempted to try denatured alcohol with Matt saying it's that he uses it all for his resin print. So, maybe I need to do a bit of a
investigation on it.
But it's the same price. But then our friends at Digital Taxidermy, they did a video on their YouTube. Was it last year? And they were using products from Poundland.
Yeah. Yeah, their video is actually quite good. It sort of opens your eyes up to a lot of new product.
But they put a video on TikTok yesterday, and I'll send you the link. And he's talking about the printers not working or working. Oh, it's finished.
Yeah.
Working or not working, and his focus had died.
Yeah.
25 minutes.
That's not bad.
Is it a cube?
How much damage have I done to the bed? Oh,
Burn straight through it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's
stop.
Yeah. The bottom of the cube is black.
Oh
no, it's coming off.
With a layer.
With 2 layers. So now I know where center is. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not perfect. Actually, would this one be better? Let's make this one big because this is the better camera. Oh, so it's too much light. It's not perfect. It probably don't even know where I put my calipers, to be honest. Don't know where my kids are half the time. It's not perfect. Look, maybe I should have put some IPA on the bed and given it a clean. But that's a 25-minute print, which is usually 47 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, 48, 47, 48. So it's halved it.
It's got... There's definitely an issue there. Like, it's got like an elephant foot, so obviously that's down to me.
Yeah, you're a touch too low, aren't you?
But apart from that, it's done all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Seen worse.
Maybe so much better if it wasn't in white, though. But it's what it is.
Much better if only half the lights were on.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you look low, mate.
Impression there.
Yeah. You want to raise that Z a little bit?
I have now.
They mark really easily, to be fair, anyway.
Yeah, you look at them, don't they? And they're like...
Yeah, mine was ruined within 24 hours.
In all fairness, I have about 40 of these beds. Don't I, Martin?
Yeah.
So someone messaged me and they said, I think they were from G-Tech, and they're like, have you got any use for like like these beds? I was like, yeah, send me a box, I don't mind. Nearly 40. I was expecting. She was like, they come in box of 2s. I'm like, oh, that's all right then. So I get 2, it'd be good. Like 18 boxes turned up the next day, and I'm like, what am I meant to do with these? Like, they're not.
Got to use them now.
And then another like 5 boxes turned up like the day after, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what have I done to upset her?
Well, you asked for some.
I haven't even got a printer they fit. I just thought I might like trim it a little bit and make it fit. Okay, so the build's quick, apart from when I was doing it. It's quiet. It did that in 27 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah. I've seen worse from your first print.
I really can't complain. I didn't even check to see if the belts were tight. I'll tell you what, the belt.
To be honest, you didn't really do any tightening or anything. So
no, I don't normally. To tighten the belt on the bed, the belt isn't actually exposed, which is nice. So it's actually under the frame. So so that's where you adjust.
Yeah,
you can't see a thing because it's on the small. That's why. So
did you check the eccentric nuts? No, we didn't.
I don't check any of that. I'll do that tomorrow. So to adjust, it's all covered, which is nice because that just means then that your filament that comes off, like everyone accumulates. Like I think my Focus has about 1 kilogram of filament in between the gaps, all over it. Like that, I like that.
Tidy.
It might be a pain in the ass. Actually, there's just an Allen key there to undo it. That's not bad. Nice little area here to put your tools.
Yeah, that's good.
Bit like the Magician, but you can get in there because you have to take the lid off to catch your fingers, which I've done a few times.
Yeah.
I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, that's nice. They've done a good job. It's single Z as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's
power pack.
Yeah, but how much is it to get an extra?
The Z kit's only like 40 quid,
15,
isn't it?
You can get them off AliExpress for 10, 15 quid.
Yeah.
Drop the power supply down.
I didn't check anything, Sebastian. I'll be honest.
We plugged it in, mate.
It's normally the next day I do testing because
deep dive. Unfortunately, boys, I think I'm going to have to get off.
I'm going to have to go anyway because my kids will be going to bed. But thank you very much, Phil, for coming on.
That's right.
Yeah.
More than welcome.
Phil.
Good to
I should be going live tomorrow with the resin printer, so jump on.
Yep, no worries.
Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you to James before for jumping on, and goodbye, everyone. See you later.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Oh my God.
Bit like.
Do you
Are we
know
still live?
No. Hang on. Yeah.